Hello, my name's Matt Cameron, and welcome to another Tracardi office hours number 20. So we're getting so close to 21 that it's not funny. Today, Risto's here, and he'll introduce himself shortly. But we're going to go through the new app that's on Easy Panel for loading Tracardi. It won't take long because it makes it so super simple. Risto's going to give us an update on where he's at with development and some of the processes that are going on with the refactory, also with signals. And we're going to talk about Office Hours 21 and what we're going to do special for that, but we'll keep that as a surprise for the end. Anyway, what I'm going to do is share my screen. Risto, first off, would you like to just introduce yourself and say hello to everyone?
Hello everybody. My name is Risto. I'm a founder of Tracardi, which is an open source customer data platform. And during office hours, we share what we do, how we proceed with creating Tracardi.
Cool. And we'll share some contact details at the end. So you've got to watch everything through to see all those details and what we're going to celebrate for Office Hours 21. I've just shared my screen and I'm sharing an Easy Panel control panel. It's got nothing in it, and I've set this up on DigitalOcean, and we'll take it down straight afterwards as well. But it's just a, what's it got? It's got a little bit of CPU, a little bit of RAM, a little bit of disk, and Easy Panel's a way of managing Docker containers using a GUI. Sort of makes it so super simple. Anyway, let's do this. Now, when I first did set up a Tracardi, I think it might have taken me a little bit longer than this. So I'll just create a project, call it demo. Projects, they're where you put things inside in Easy Panel. So you put inside your project, you put the applications that you have. Also on the blog, we'll have some instructions for how to get started with a DigitalOcean Easy Panel instance. It's like a different topic, not hard, easy to do too. So I'll go to templates. Actually, first I'll just have a quick look at services. So in services, you've got all the different types of services you might want to set up. It might be an SQL container or whatever else, and it lets you do those. And it has a whole series of templates. So if I scroll down far enough, I'll come across things like the awesome Ghost content platform. So we could go ahead and create a Ghost application, or we could create a WordPress application. They're all here, all the open source popular ones are here, and they're all set up, ready to go. And what got me is I was looking at the release notes for the last one, and sure enough, Tracardi was in the list, and here it is here. So this has been something I've been looking forward. You didn't sneak this in here, did you, Risto? You didn't just pop this into Easy Panel?
No, but I'm very excited that it's there.
Yeah, I am too, because I know you're excited because it's been shared. And I think it's really major that it's been shared on a platform like this because more people are going to see it. But I'm excited because it just makes it so easy. Mm-hmm. So I've called the project demo, and I'll call this test. What a great name. So the application's called test. We'll enable the demo data, and I won't enable the production setup because I think that message there prevents adding demo data, enable production setup, and it's much more fun when you see some data. So let's go create. And what this is going to do is create all the Docker images and link them all together so that we have an application that we can see.
Mm-hmm. I'm just curious, is there like a metadata for this template that says who created this?
Let's have a look. It is open source, so we should be able to work it out from the repository. Mm-hmm. But it must be a pull request there somewhere. This has sort of been on my to-do list. I've been wanting to do this, and I'm just blown away that somebody else has done it. Anyway, I'll hit the create. It wanted me to enable production setup. It said you must have required property enable production setup ticked. So let's tick create. It's gone off to create it. So what I can see here is that it's spinning up each of these services. Oh, they all appear to be up. Now, I had done this a little bit earlier, and it does take a little bit of time to pull all the images down. because the images are going to be fetched. So we're sort of cheating a bit how fast this just was, but essentially it should be up and all running. Let's have a look and see how busy the server is. So based on that load, I'd say that it's set up, it's done what it needed to do. So I'll just go back into the project demo. Now to get the GUI, the interface, we need the API link. We haven't set up any domains for this, so I'm just using the Easy Panel domain, default domain that comes with it. You wouldn't do that in production. You'd set a proper domain name for that, but it's sort of like more about the Easy Panel side of it all, and that's a bit different sort of conversation. So I'll go to API, and I'll get the link for that, and I'll open it up there. I'll share that tab instead, so you can see that there's an instance running, and I'll copy that link. I'll go back to Easy Panel, I'll share that tab instead, go down to the GUI, open that, and I'll share that tab instead. Now, this is traditionally what you're going to see when you start a Tracardi server. It'll ask for the endpoint. That's why we shared that tab, that URL before from that previous tab. So it's got that there. The install token, we'll just go with the default, which is Tracardi, and I'll put my name. I'll put some test details in there. There we go. So my password there was just test $123. Like I said, this won't hang around for too long. Go install. Now, when I did install before, it came up with an error, and then I went past that error and was able to log in, and everything appeared okay. Just curious to see whether I'll get it again. Installing. So at this stage, it's setting up all the SQL databases and loading that demo data. So let's Matt Cameron, Tracardi, and grab the password from the password reminder. It's got it there. Let's make sure it's the right one. Yep. Sign in. Oh, no test data. What did I do wrong? Okay, so it hasn't loaded up the test data, but what we can see is we've got an instance of Tracardi running. And that is it. I could do this again to get the test data in, but that's not the important thing. The test data just would have shown that we had some test data there. What we can do, and without having this linked to an external system, which is also another topic and another discussion really, we can't see too much more than this, but we can see Tracardi is up. And as I mentioned before, we can see that the API is pingable, and that's really important. Might just go back to Easy Panel and share this tab instead. And what we can see here is the APIs there, APM, Elasticsearch, had this configured so that it runs within a gigabyte, which is absolutely fantastic. It's a single cluster, and we can go into environments and look at some of the environment variables for that. So getting all these right sometimes is a bit tricky. So getting those Elasticsearch variables done up for us so that it just works is really helpful. We'll have a look at
I see that with that configuration, if you run like with a lot of traffic, it's good to add some data, this ES JavaScript Java opts, then you can increase the number, because this is the number of data that Java is using. So you can increase that, and Elastic should work better. But yeah, this is just a matter of.
We've got a pile of memory on here, so 409. 8. That makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, the other one as well.
Yeah. And we save that.
So it will use more data to store, more memory to store the data in memory.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is just a good optimization parameter.
Look, it gets you started, doesn't it?
Yes, it probably gets restarted, and
let's see how that's going. We change the environment configurables. You've got to reboot the service. So it's coming back up. The green light means it's up. And we can see, yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
We've told use 4 gig, and it's using 4 gig of memory.
Yeah. This
Resources,
is nice.
yeah, resources. No, storage. Storage is what I'm looking for. So it's got the volume set up for persisting data. So it's a nice little setup. Actually, it gets you to where you sort of need to be pretty quickly. GUI environment variables for that. No, which they're not. MySQL. Let's have a look at those. What are the credentials? Advanced. So it's using one of the.
Actually, this is the second platform I see that implemented Tracardi.
Yep.
But this one is you can use it like for free. The other one is, I guess, Elastia, and they charge for installing Tracardi, but they do it also on different cloud providers, not only DigitalOcean.
What's this is not so much DigitalOcean. DigitalOcean is just a server, but Easy Panel is sort of like a free to get started with, but advanced monitoring. You're not seeing the details there, and also storage. So if I go back to the database and backups, you need a license that supports backups. Now, I know in my instance, I've got all my backups go off to AWS for each of the databases, and it really is as simple as setting up the bucket and then enabling that to the destination. The destination is the label you give it, your cron. Just makes all that stuff easy. Give them a plug. It's worth getting a license for all the hard work it gets rid of. But it's just a plug for Easy Panel. It's great software. A bit like Tracardi.
Can we try to find the repository for this
Absolutely.
template, or because I would like to, if there are like changes in Tracardi, I would like to contribute to that template, so it has all the newest versions.
I'm just GitHubbing Easy Panel templates, because they've got a separate. I'll share this tab instead. So it is open source. Easy Panel itself, the engine. I'm not quite sure where to find that, but I know the templates are here. If I'm looking at them. So if I go into templates, scroll down. I guess it's just a pull request on here. So.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Probably, yeah. The hard part's organising the setup for it. Where is Tracardi?
Yeah, the second one from the top.
Oh, yeah, got it. But you can see like 20 and all sorts of things there. It's
2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
very nice.
2 weeks ago. And let's see. I'm going to get some history on it.
Yeah, we have a contributor.
This guy here. There is a Discourse channel for the. Oh no, there is a channel on one of the things there. So yeah, look, I'd imagine it's just a pull request on here to get the latest ones. Yeah, but not that hard, really, is it? It's just a
well, it's not a lot of configuration to it.
It might be lifted off the GitHub as is, with a bit more config there for Easy Panel. Anyway, wanted to share that one. Wanted to share that because if you're struggling to get started with Tracardi, have a go at that. Might not be where you land or end up, but it'll get you started, and it's something you can really use to move ahead with. Saves heaps of time.
Yep. Okay, perfect. So very happy to see it. Okay, well, now let me share what's going on inside Tracardi and how we are developing it. Actually, there is a new version coming very, very soon. It does not have a lot of changes. It's just refactoring and preparing for the new way we do Tracardi, where we have adapters for different dependencies. And we would like to introduce at some point an SQL database that will store all the events. we are thinking about Star Rocks, I guess that's the name. This is a data warehouse which is enterprise ready, and it's at least what I see. It's very nice implementation of the data warehouse where you can store your data on a data lake or an AWS, etc. And it's in a standard way. Encoded on that cloud, so you can even then connect maybe other databases. But it seems like a very capable database with a standard SQL that is compliant with MySQL way of retrieving data. So this is actually what's going on, and the version will be available. The beta version will be available very soon. It will be 1.2.x, where there's actually one change in this version. Matt, if maybe you remember, you had this issue with the dot notation where you could not retrieve the data, and that was always a pain point in Tracardi. Actually, this is a pain point in Python, because when there is like dynamic mapping or dynamic retrieval of data, Python does not have a good library to fetch the data from the nested object, actually from JSON. And I was quite unhappy with this, and I wrote a new library that actually is written in C, and then ported to Python, because we need performance. The last library was quite slow, and they could not retrieve data like in a regular way, like for example JavaScript does it. Okay, the dot notation and the dot notation could retrieve data that has spaces in the keys, the names, some special characters, or retrieve the data from within the array of data, from a list of data. So it was completely rewritten in C and ported to Python, and now it's almost 20 times faster. So because Python is not the fastest language, and that gave us like a new opportunity, because this is like a perfect way for mapping any data, whether it's flat data from the SQL tables or the no SQL records that are usual JSON or some embedded objects. And that opens like the way how we can retrieve data better, and then probably in the future versions it will be very easy to get the data either from SQL database or no SQL database. So it's very nice, and this will be available in this version, this new coming version 1.2, and basically from the perspective of the user, there will be not much more. Actually, the commercial version will have the new graphical user interface, but this is like the thing that we showed in the previous office hours. So this is the version 1.2, and I'm already working on the version 1.3, because this 1.2 version will be very short-lived. I mean, it will just probably within a month I will release another version, but just bring us closer to this adapter model where we could write adapters for different databases, different queues. And as I mentioned in the previous office hours, this is very important when you would like to lower the cost of ownership, because when you have some database already running, or you have a queue that accumulates the data already running, for you it's better to use the queue that you have already installed. So, and this new version will bring us closer to this adapter model. And also, in the meanwhile, I'm working on a new. Actually, this is a commercial product, but connect very well with Tracardi. It's called Tracardi Signals, and it will collect the signals mm, from the web page, the behavioral signals, very low level, I would say, signals, and we'll move it to Tracardi Signals. Then AI will analyze it and will bring back the information about the customer interests, and etc. So actually, I could share some work in progress, how actually it works, because this product will come with a testing tool, which is a Chrome extension, so you can see how the data is collected. Maybe I'll try to share my screen. So
Absolutely, that'd be really interesting.
I'm on. I've enabled the plugin. Okay, this is simple JS runner, I call it. What it does, it monitors everything that is shown on the page. I'm on an eBay page, but maybe I can go to, I don't know, Yahoo. Never been there, so I don't know how it will behave. Yahoo.com. Here we go. Accept. And when you can see this blue squares. It means that the JavaScript that is put on this page, which is Tracardi Signals, with the extension, you can put the JavaScript to any page. So it automatically discovers what are the content boxes. So you can see in here. And you can see when I scroll down here, when I scroll, you can see that this box is not highlighted. It means that the script does not think that you are reading this part of content. Okay, when you just scroll down, it just highlights, and this data is collected, and it also analyzes mouse movements. Okay, analyzes how the page is built. So it says if it knows that this is a, for example, advertisement, so maybe not very interested in this. But then when it reloads, you can also, see that, okay, it just tries to recognize it if this is something you could be interested in. And this is all aggregated. And then when I go into inspect, and then it's sent to the Tracardi Signals in term of signals, like events with a bigger frequency. So you can see this is my what I've actually seen on the screen. This is all working. It gives it some ID. It also says what kind of element is that, and then you can see the signal saying that actually I was reading this for 6 seconds. Okay, it was visible for 6 seconds, and actually it thinks that I was reading this, not only scanning or scrolling. So it also recognizes if I'm just scrolling the page and I'm actually not reading this. It tries to recognize if I scroll. Okay, so there are like different types of signals being sent to the backend, and then it is analyzed by the Tracardi Signals and will come back with the interest of that person that is reading, of the profile that is reading this content. So it analyzes the behavior of the customer, just tries to pick up as many signals as possible from the page, and then on the backend it will be analyzed, grouped, because actually some parts of the page are displayed several times, so you have to know if it's really like just scrolling or reading, and based on that we will calculate the interest. And what is probably the most hard thing to do is to stay consistent with the interest classification. Okay, because AI will probably come up with the information about what the person is interested in, but we have to stay within a boundary of available interest, because otherwise we will not be able to create a segment.
I saw that you started that as a Chrome app, but But ultimately, that would be just that wouldn't be run through a Chrome app. That'd be just running. The person visiting wouldn't have to do anything. It'd just be
Yes.
like Tracardi in the background.
Yes. You just enable this, and Tracardi will put the JavaScript on the page. This is just for testing because I'm not able to put a Tracardi, signals JavaScript on eBay, for example. So I don't know how the page is built. I can test it on Tracardi, but Tracardi is not very complex page.
When I know. It's interesting seeing it. Like that was live. It's Yahoo. Had no idea what we'd see there, and that's dynamic content, so it's just making sense of it on the fly, which is pretty impressive.
Actually, when you look at the HTML of that page, actually there is no HTML. They're loading it all dynamically. So this JavaScript has to recognize what's loaded, what's not loaded, what's interesting from our point of view, what's not. So it discards some parts of the page, some don't, and it also have to find out if you are reading something. That means the element stays longer on the page. How big is it? So it's quite complicated. I spent some quite time on writing this. But finally, it will be just a Tracardi script that will automatically put it on the page of a customer, so they don't have to. Nobody have to use this extension. This is just for testing. But that brought me another idea how Tracardi could be used, especially for hobbyists or people who would like to track their own activity and then look for the content that they are. Okay, I saw some content like a month ago, but I don't know where it was. Okay, so actually, if you store this and make your own profile, then you can look through the history and say, okay, I was reading this like a month ago on this page. Yes.
That feels like such a deep topic, and we could go off on such a big tangent with about enabling ourselves to collect what we do and then sell that onto companies so they can advertise to us.
You don't have to sell it. You don't have to sell it. I know that there are products actually right now that you install some software on your computer, so it just analyzes your behavior, and then you can use that for your own purpose to find out what I was looking for. Maybe not building interest because I know what I'm interested in, but my whole history. It's usually when I have like some issues remembering when I saw something, when I saved some file. That product actually also does it. So you can say, okay, I know I've saved some file with my financial data. I don't know where it is. I cannot find it. So it can go through the history and say, okay, this is where it is. This is just some geeky way of storing some data. When I was testing this, I said, okay, maybe I could use it for my purpose.
Isn't that how all great products start? Like you start doing one thing, and then before you know it, you're doing another. And anyway,
this is like a additional thing that happened. Probably, I will not go deeper into this. Just an idea.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for sharing. Okay, so in the year before last, we started doing office hours, and today's the 20th, and next office hours in 2 weeks or so time will be the 21st. And we're going to do something really special. We're going to have a little bit of a celebration. And the gift for everyone that's watching here live or in the videos is that we'll share case studies. Now, I'm going to share what I've been doing with a not-for-profit, which is called ADHD Australia, where we've been discovering interests, not too different to segments, but just in a different way. I've been using Gen AI for that, and predictive analysis of that, and then loading interests and intents back into their their active campaign, which is their source of truth. They use for their email automation marketing. But that's the first one. Risto, do you have a case study you could share?
Yeah, I think I can
Oh,
come up with some
yeah.
case studies and just also show how I do it on Tracardi webpage, but also talk about how other customers are using this.
Yeah. It'd be great to share the stories. I think sometimes we can get, like we already have today, all the details, those nuts and bolts and the dev stuff, and that's good because that's what we're sort of doing with these dev hours. But it'd be also good to share those case studies. And the call is out there for anyone else that's got a good story to tell. Doesn't have to be a great big story. It can just be a screen grab. This is what I'm doing. And if you need help with getting that ready or anything like that, just please reach out, because it'd be just so exciting to have as many as possible, just to share what we're all doing with Tracardi and come up with some of those stories. So that's scheduled for our next event. So I'm looking forward to that one.
Good, perfect.
And I reckon to close off, other than thank Chris for everything he does for the community. If you
Thank
need,
you for doing the office hours.
oh,
It's
my
good
pleasure.
to talk.
And thanks for the support with the plugins, the questions that I come up with, and everything else on the Slack channel. Go to Tracardi about, and you'll find the contact details there. There is a Slack channel, and it is a good place to get help. And somebody will help you. If it's not Risto, I'm in there a fair bit of time. Definitely respond and help try and work out what the question is and how to do it. All the questions I think have been asked. It's just a matter of discovering and learning, and everything that's in the Slack channel gets sort of regurgitated back out onto the website as documentation and all sorts of stuff, things like that. So I think getting the invite for the Slack channel, if you need help and need to get started, is a great way to go. I reckon that ends the office hours for today. I can't think of anything else to share, but just to say, catch you guys later.
Okay, see you later.